Hi everyone, my name is K.L. Kettle and welcome to this week's episode of the Book Chain Project. Today, Chrissie Sains is interviewing Melissa Welliver, whose debut, The Undying Tower, came out in the last few months here in the UK. It's a modern dystopia and I really hope you enjoy it. I will see you on the other side. Bye bye.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hello everyone on Instagram. So I'm here today. My name's Chrissie Sains and I'm the author of An Alien in the Jam Factory. And I am here today to interview the amazing Melissa Welliver, who has written The Undying Tower. So hopefully she will join us any second. I'm keeping a bit of an eye to keep an eye out for her. But in the meantime, I am here for the Book Chain Project, which was put together by the amazing Kitty Kettle. And last week I was interviewed by Natascha Biebow, which you can catch on her Instagram. Melissa is here. So let me just see. She's joined. Hold on. Let me see. Go live. Okay, she's coming on. So yes, and this week I am interviewing Melissa and she should be here any second now, hopefully. Hello!
Hello!
Hello! How are you going?
I'm good, thank you. Yes, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. I was a bit nervous there. It's a bit strange chatting and there's no one there.
Nobody.
I know, like, hello everyone. Is there anybody there? So yeah, I was glad when I saw your face pop up.
Am I bright enough? Am I okay? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can see you all right. Yeah, you're looking
Cool.
good. Yeah. So I'm really excited to chat to you today about the Undying Tower.
Yeah, I don't know, it's terrible. I don't think I've got a copy on me.
Have you
But
not?
that's fine because I don't think I do actually. I'm just looking around my desk like I've been very good.
This.
I've been giving them to school libraries. So I feel very pious.
Yeah. Do you know what? I know what you mean because actually I ran out of copies of my book recently and I had to go and buy some because I'd run out. So yeah. Anyway, so I'm very excited to talk to you today. So to start off, I thought maybe we could kick off and you could just tell us a bit about yourself and maybe give us a bit of an introduction to the Undying Tower. I'm going to keep doing this. A bit of an non-spoilery introduction to the Undying Tower.
And somebody has to show the cover. Gosh, honestly. Better organised than me. There it is. Thank God for Chrissie. So, yes, The Undying Tower. So it's a YA book. It's dystopian. And it's the first in a trilogy. And it's about a girl who finds out that she is one of the Undying. So the Undying is 5% of the population never age past around about 25. And the other 95% essentially enslave them for that. So it's about this girl. She finds out she's one of the person that she doesn't think she is. And it's about how it changes her entire life experience. She thinks she's going to be going one way and she goes the other. And yeah, that's what the book is about. So it's about her journey through understanding what it's like to be part of the minority when she thought she was part of the majority.
Gosh, I mean, that's great. It's such a great concept as well. I mean, I really, really enjoyed it. And hold it up again. How did you come up with it? Can you tell us a bit about, your inspiration behind it?
Yeah, sure. So I have a friend who I met at my master's at uni called Caroline Chisholm, and the book is dedicated to her. If anybody buys it, they'll see in the front. And essentially, I wrote it after, sadly, she passed away from cancer. And I wanted to check what it would be like in a world where maybe people didn't have to suffer with that. When I say that, she'd also been writing a lot of books at uni and I hadn't really thought about it. And I knew that if I didn't write this book, she would kick my butt about not writing this book. So yeah, it was mostly came from there. And then I was writing about 2016 and that was when Brexit was coming up, the vote for Brexit, and lots of other things were happening. We were talking about climate change. Thank goodness we were finally bringing that into the conversation. And yeah, essentially that's where it came from. So this is a book essentially written about the times we're in the far future and imagining what that would be like. I also went to Chernobyl in 2017 and that came into a lot. Yeah. So
gosh, that must have been fascinating.
Yeah, really interesting. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
I always make my dad go on a dangerous adventure every year, before COVID, of course, since he turned 60. So that year was Pripyat and Chernobyl. And I really wanted to imagine what a world would be like if we completely reimagined that there'd maybe been a nuclear war, or maybe been flooding, or basically nature had retaken over a city. So that comes into the book a lot. So it was basically I must admit, a lot of climate change things, a lot of environmental factors came into the book. And then I was also trying to think of, what if a small portion of the population didn't have to worry about cancer, didn't have to worry about any pollution factors or any environmental factors affecting their health. So that's essentially where the book started, and that was the little germ, and then it grew from there.
Gosh, I mean, and what a great dedication to your friend as well. And it must mean an awful lot to her family to have it dedicated to her, and that she inspired you to write it. That's amazing.
Yeah, I hope so. Her sister Helen, I'm in really good contact with. Hi Helen, if you're watching. And you know, we're trying to get her words out there as well, but it's really nice to have something where I feel kind of like we've both got on a shelf and I can say, we did it, like, here we are, because I put her name in the front of the book, so it's really nice.
Yeah, no, that's really special. And the other thing I found really interesting about it is that your main character Sadie has synesthesia. So can you tell us a little bit about that? I'm really sorry I keep doing this to my eye, but I think I've got something in my eye now as we're chatting. So I'm sort of going, oh. Anyway, tell us about synesthesia, and please ignore me if I'm doing this.
I understand, Chrissy, you're just really emotional.
It means so much to talk to you today.
You don't have to make an excuse just because I'm so emotional.
I might go get a tissue.
Oh no. Yes, the synesthesia, absolutely, I can talk about that. So I want to say it's mild synesthesia, but I feel like that's saying that synesthesia is something that perhaps hampers me in some sort of way in everyday life, but I think synesthesia enhances life. So I'm very much somebody that if I smell something, I sense a colour in my head. And when I've spoken to some of my writing friends about this, they've also said, oh yeah, when I think of days of the week, they're different colours. And essentially we worked out that this was synesthesia. So synesthesia is where you cross one feeling with another feeling, or one emotion with a colour or something like that. So it's where synapses cross in your brain. If you're smelling something, you might sense something else. And a lot of the time it comes out as colour. So in the book... Oh, thank you.
Yeah, do you know what? I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it until I read your book. My daughter read it, and she came over and said, I think that the main character has synesthesia, before that she realized that she does. And I was a bit like, oh, that's really interesting, but I hadn't heard of it. And it's so interesting that, and when we spoke before this interview, so interesting to hear that it's something you actually experience. It's amazing.
Yeah. So it's certainly something I experience, although I must admit Sadie in the book experiences it in a different way to how I've experienced and how I've necessarily researched it. So Sadie in the book experiences emotions as colour. So she is an artist, a young budding artist, and she's trying to make her artwork work. And so she sees emotions as colour, and that kind of colours her world, and she has to bring that more into her art. So it was really funny talking to people before this when I was writing it about their experiences with synesthesia and how different they can be. So I wanted to bring in something that was kind of something I had some experience with, but also I did kind of embellish it a little bit, because obviously it's a novel, it's not a biography, or an autobiography rather. So that's where that came in.
It's such an interesting idea, and I really love how she brings it into her art. And I won't talk about when because it's sort of at the midpoint that she really uses it, isn't it? But it's a really lovely aspect of the book. I really enjoyed it. And the other thing I really enjoyed is you make up a whole new load of swear words. So, so tell us about that, because it's incredible how they're swearing, but they're not a swear word. It's really interesting concept. So tell us about how you did that.
Okay, yeah. So especially for interviews like this, I've got to be careful.
Yeah, I'm not.
That does enjoy swearing. I must admit that I am somebody that does swear a lot in day-to-day life. And I was thinking about, especially because it's YA, obviously everyday teenagers don't always follow the rules about how to speak. So I was trying to think of ways to bring in swears without alienating an audience with my book. So one of the ways, because of it being dystopian especially, it has a lot of different things that could alienate people. So one of the things I brought in was this new way of swearing. So in my book, because they live forever, a certain number of people, they've banned religion, and religion means they've banned the royal family. So the great thing about the royal family is they have lots of harsh consonant sounds, which sound like swearing.
So you really thought about how the words really sound. It wasn't just a case of, oh, that's amazing. Yeah,
absolutely. You've got to think, when you're swearing, you've got to think, like, what is so fun about swearing? This is terrible. But what is so fun? What is that hard consonant sound that sounds great when you're swearing? And it's funny, actually, I got a puppy as well a couple of years ago, and they were saying, when you're calling a puppy in the park, you want a hard consonant when you're calling them. And it's swearing. You want that satisfaction of saying the hard word. So, yes, absolutely. In the book, we've got kinging. There's a kinging problem, which I'm sure people won't be able to relate to a swear word, but it happens to cover a swear. It's a swear in the world. If you're saying you're a king and queen, then that is a bad thing. If you're calling someone a princess, if you're saying, oh, he has the crown jewels to do that, I'm sure people can use their imagination.
The crown jewels was the one that I liked, actually. I was like, I quite like that one. That was my favourite one. Yeah, no, it's great. It's such an interesting idea. And did you always want to write YA books? Is that something you always wanted to do, or that age group? Is that where you were always going, or?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I've talked to a lot of people about this, because the thing with YA is it can be what's called crossover. So if people don't know what that is, it's that YA usually appeals to people older than YA. I think I read once that over 50% of people that read YA are 18 to 35, something like that. So they're kind of technically outside of the YA bracket. I mean, I hate age groups as a genre anyway. I think that I understand why booksellers have to use it, but it means that a lot of people get turned off by YA because they don't understand it. Yeah, they think it's for a younger age group. So it can be really frustrating, but also I love YA. I love that coming of age story. I love like going back to that time in my life when I was coming of age, and young people and talking to young people now. I love it. So yeah, I do really love YA, and I always imagine myself writing YA. But what's funny is now I have a book finished and out, I can imagine writing older and then possibly younger as well. I've been talking to people about that. So because I work with Write Mentor, which is all kid lit.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Write Mentor in a minute, actually. Yes, definitely. Carry on. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I love talking about Write Mentor, so it's absolutely fine. Yes, so I do imagine now writing older and younger, but I must admit, when I was first writing, I didn't necessarily think about writing younger or older. No, it didn't occur to me.
I don't think you always realise when you first start writing, do you? I know I didn't. When I first started writing first drafts of things, particularly, it's sort of how the voice comes out, isn't it, almost?
Yeah.
And then that kind of guides the way, I suppose. So in terms of your writing process, what is your process? I mean, there's me saying, yeah, it's just how it comes out. Clearly, I just write. What's your process? Do you plan, or do you just write, or how does that work?
Yeah, so I must admit, when I wrote the Undying Tower, the first one, so I haven't written the other two in the trilogy, but I have planned them. When I wrote the first one, I was definitely a pantser. So if people don't know, that's where you fly by the seat of your pants as opposed to writing with a plot. So you're a plotter or a pantser, that's what we say. Or you could be in between and be a plantser. But I must admit, I'm never quite sure where that line lies. So I'm not going to go through that. But I was totally a pantser when I wrote this book. I just wanted excitement, and I wanted to talk about particular themes. And it was in 2016, and everyone remembers how crazy 2016 was when Trump came to power. It's when we left the EU. It's all these different, or rather not left the EU, but we voted for it. So it's just all these different things were going on. So I was certainly pantsing the first one. However, with it being in terms of a trilogy, not only have I planned since writing that first couple of drafts before my publisher Agora Books took it, I've definitely planned the rest of the trilogy more. So I think I've become a plotter, which
So it's so funny you say that, because I'm exactly the same. So I really started as a pantser. I always just wrote, and then but the thing I found is that it takes so much longer. So because you're kind of figuring out the plot as you go, aren't you?
Yeah.
And you always sort of, I don't know, come a cropper somewhere, and you have to redo quite a lot of it. So I'm the same. I'm a planner now, but I never used to be. Yeah, it's interesting.
No, I totally agree. I think when you first write a book, the excitement, and I totally understand. I remember when people tell me about plotting, and I was like, no, but the excitement is discovering the story at the same time as the
Yeah.
characters. Yet when I plotted a book after this, a completely separate book, it was amazing how few drafts it took because I
Yeah.
sorted the plot holes before writing.
I know. I'm exactly the same. I've just written something new, and I've plotted it the whole way through, and it's so much quicker to get the first draft done. Yeah, much better. Yeah. So if you had a top tip then, a top writing tip for any writers that are out there, what would your top tip be?
That's such a
That bit
scary.
of a tricky one.
I know, it's such a scary question.
Sorry.
Because I think it's because, you'll know this, Chrissy, because you're a debut like me. And I think sometimes as debuts, I mean, the imposter syndrome never goes away. So I think some people don't realize, like, it's like, oh, well, when I get that publishing deal, I'll feel like a writer. You're a writer if you write every day.
Yeah.
End of discussion. Yeah, I do not follow that advice. I always think I'm not a writer because I've only got one book. Yeah, so that never goes away. But
No.
I would say probably my one piece of advice is don't worry about taking writing advice. There are some pieces of writing advice that say write every day. I am not a person that writes every day, and that's just the way I work, and that's allowed, and that's fine. I think that a lot of writing advice, it doesn't necessarily fit you. Some will and some won't. So that'll probably be my piece of writing advice is don't listen to what I'm saying.
Writing advice, don't take any advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, talking of writing advice, obviously, you do quite a lot for Write Mentor, don't you?
Yeah.
So, can you tell us a little bit about that and what you do,
Sure.
and how that benefits you, how you enjoy that?
Yeah, sure. So I work for Write Mentor a few days a week, and I run the Community Hub and the Spark Mentor program. So what that means is Write Mentor is a website that covers a lot of different things. So we started off as just a free mentoring service over the summer, similar to, I'm sure a lot of writers will have heard of dev pitch and all these different peer pitch things that you have over the summer. So we've started off as a volunteer service for people who have agents or possibly publishing deals, and they put in time over a summer period every year and volunteer their time to help a up and coming writer to get on that agency ladder and start getting up the ladder to publication. And then we've grown from there, and it's run by a guy called Stuart White, who's amazing. And he puts in a lot of time and effort to make sure that writers have affordable courses and ways to connect with each other. And I think the biggest thing with Write Mentor is all about, I think it says on our front page, writing is lonely, but it doesn't have to be. Because writing can be so lonely, and it can be really difficult to find your tribe. And I think a lot of people like this, oh, how did you find a critique group? How did you find this? And I say a lot, gosh, go online. Like, there's some amazing stuff online. I think especially since COVID, we've got more stuff coming up online, and that's amazing. So yeah, so basically my work with Write Mentor is running the Community Hub, which is an online community, and we do little things every month. So we might have somebody coming in and talking to us about publishing or writing or TikTok or book talk, whatever it may be. And we also have competitions running, and the main thing is we have a community who all talk to each other and are all writing kidlit and all are doing what they need to be doing to get published. And you can commiserate together, you can celebrate together, and it's amazing. So I would say Write Mentor's essentially a huge community. And depending if you have the money to invest as well, they have some courses on, but essentially it's a community of people writing kidlit, which is amazing.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think as you were saying, community is so important. I know I've got a group of writing friends, and I think writing can be so isolating and so lonely, and actually not everyone, people that aren't writers don't always understand exactly what you're going through with it, do they? So I think finding other writers to connect with is such a great thing to be doing. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and especially sometimes even your own family. We're doing something for NaNoWriMo next month, which, if people don't know, is National Novel Writing Month. And I think even your own family, sometimes you can tell them, oh, I listed in this competition, and they'll say, oh, so you haven't won the competition? And it's like, no, but I listed in the competition. And I think that's well-meaning as your family can be. Sometimes you need those writers to understand how long that journey is.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing. So and actually, talking of journeys into writing, I know when we spoke, I was quite amazed. Like, you've got an amazing community of writing friends, haven't you? Because the process of going from writer to published author, you've met so many people on the way, haven't you? And you had a really lovely story about the your book being on a printer. Are you able to tell us a bit about your journey?
Yeah, so I will preface this with, this is a story I've been told, not 100% whether it's just an urban legend, but yeah, so yes, obviously now I have this great community of writers, it's amazing, and I found them online, it's great, and in fact me and Chrissie are in a debut group together, and it's lovely to share stories. But that started years ago when I got my agent, and this was in 2017-ish, late 2016 maybe. And it started off with, I went on a master's at Manchester University with an amazing writer called Jeanette Winston, and she was amazing at keeping in touch with people who left. And when I left, I said, I'm writing this story, and it's not a short story like everything I wrote on the course, it's actually a book, and I'm looking for representation. And she said, great, send it to me. I'll print it off when I'm in London. And I was like, okay, awesome. Again, we'll preface, this perhaps is an urban legend, but I'll tell it anyway. And what the amazing story was, she went down to her agents, the amazing Peters, Fraser and Dunlop. She went to use their printer, and they said, there's actually a printing queue. You're going to have to wait. She said, that's fine. And she sent it to print, and my first agent, Tessa David, who was incredible, I ended up moving to the amazing Lucy Irvine, but Tessa was a great agent. It just so happens that Tessa aligned better with my sci-fi tendencies, but I ended up signing with Tessa David because she went to that printer in the queue. She pulled off the first page, started reading it, and said, oh, can I keep this till tomorrow? I'm quite enjoying this.
It's amazing.
And that's what happened.
It's the dream, isn't it, though? Isn't it the dream that someone just happens to see your writing and wants to sign you? That's incredible. Yeah,
it's a crazy story. It is a crazy story, but that's what I was told happened. So I like to think it's true, at least.
Yeah, I think you've got to own that one.
Yeah,
definitely. Whether it's, even if it wasn't, I think you'd still got to own that one.
Yeah. Let's add some layers to it. Let's add some more celebrity names. No.
yeah. So now that you are published, how does it differ? Like, is it what you expected? Like, it is. Has it been from going from writer to published author? Has it been what you thought it would be? And because I know as well, your book came out digitally as well, didn't it? Before it came out in hard copy. So, is it what you thought it would be?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So, yes and no. I think certainly there's so much you learn after you sign that you don't even realize all the stuff you maybe complain about as well, with publishers being slow or publishers don't. There's so much stuff you learn afterwards that you're like, gosh, I had no idea how this works. So there's certainly loads of stuff I didn't know, and being in a debut group really helps as well, like talking to other people that have been through that. But also it is everything that you imagine. Like, if there's anybody who writes, it is amazing, like seeing people that you don't know the first and last name of reading your book. Like, that sounds but people that I don't know, isn't my Auntie G that says that she'll read it, blah blah blah. It's really nice seeing other people take enjoyment from your book, even if it's just one person. Like, you never think, oh, that will actually satisfy me. Actually, it does. Like, seeing the book in people's hands and seeing it in a physical space as well. So the difference between digital and paperback, seeing the book when it came in a physical copy, which I don't even have because I'm a terrible author, and but there it is, right there. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing having it in that form, and just knowing that other people are reading it and it's in a physical space, not just on a Word document on your computer.
Yeah, I think what's so interesting, actually, I was speaking to someone else about this the other day, and I was saying the highs are better than you think they will be. They're incredible. Like seeing your book, the front cover for the first time, and seeing children reading it for the first, all of those things are incredible. But equally, the lows are worse than you expected them to be. So it's like a real, tight deadlines are very difficult, or waiting for things to happen are very difficult. And so I find it a real roller coaster. That's one thing I've always said, is you're never here. You're always either here or down here.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And I think we talk about a lot about I think it's really important to have a group of friends around you that are in the same boat. So having the debut group is so stressful when you have that first, everyone's going to get bad reviews, your book's never going to be for everyone. And being able to share that with other people, and they say, oh yeah, I had a review where somebody got cross because the book was a bit cold because it was delivered in December from Amazon, so they gave me, I knew, like, okay, yeah, this is obviously how it works, you know. This is always going to happen. But having those good reviews as well, and people really connect with your book. I've got a couple of people I must shout out, Partridge Pages, the review page, and Charlie is amazing and has read my book a few times, and yeah, she just gets it, and it's really nice. Yeah, so I think it's really nice when you get people who get the book, and it's like, somebody once said to me, writing a book is like having a 6-hour conversation with somebody, but they don't interrupt you.
Oh.
And I think that's really nice, especially when writing YA, when teenagers feel like they're not being heard.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like they feel, you're helping them to feel a bit more understood. That's such lovely, and that's quite a gift as well, really, isn't it? I mean, it's lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, hugely, I think. Yeah. It's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm keeping an eye on the time, and I'm thinking we've only got 5 minutes left. So I've got just a couple more questions I was thinking I'd like to ask. So one question I think was always really important about your book is, when your YA readers, or when any of your readers read The Undying Tower, what would you like them to take away from it? What message do you want to give?
Yeah. I think the main thing is there's something that my publisher put into the blurb that publishers are amazing at boiling down your book when you can't even do it. And they said something like, fighting against all the odds when you feel like nobody's listening and you feel like you're on your own. And I think that's the main thing, especially in dystopian fiction. I want people to take away, even if it changes what your opinion was previously, even if you've changed your mind, fight against those odds when everyone else is against you, but knowing that you're in the right, and knowing you're on the right side of history. That's what I want people to take away from it.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's really lovely. Like the idea that people that might feel misunderstood actually sort of that they are understood. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I think that's really lovely. And so what's next? So when can we expect the next one? Because it does end on a little bit of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So when's the next one? When do we find out what happens next?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so it is the same time next year with Agora Books. I've signed up for all 3, and I have all 3 planned out. So don't worry, everyone. I haven't just gone rogue and the reading what your theories are and thinking, yeah, that sounds really good, actually. I'll put that in the book. No, that hasn't happened at all. I swear I have planned them out. So yes, Agora's bought all 3. They're going to be coming out 1 per year. Okay. And so it should be same time next year. Next book, which I can't say the name of yet.
Oh, do you know, that was actually my next question. I was going to say,
really?
What's the name of it? But okay, so that's a secret. So is the name of the trilogy the Undying Tower trilogy?
It's the Undying trilogy.
The Undying.
So you know what? I'll take guesses for the next title. I have it. But if you want to guess, guys, if you want to guess.
Oh, I haven't got a clue. I don't know. Well, I don't know. That's exciting. It's exciting.
Yeah, if it's a theme, so I'm sure I'll do a little competition maybe nearer the time.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I don't want to guess because, you know, I might get it right.
And then I have to be like, no, that's not it.
I mean, I might not. I might just get it wrong, and you'll laugh at me. Okay, lovely. So, and so who are you interviewing next week? Can you tell us about? I'm
interviewing the amazing Kate Gilby-Smith. I have it on my phone because I'm a Kindle reader, which probably makes people are like, no, that's it. I'm turning off the Instagram live right now because you're a Kindle reader. But I am a Kindle reader, so I have it on my phone ready to go. So it's the astonishing future of Alex Nobody, who I'm interviewing next week, which I'm really excited about because it's sci-fi, it's alternate reality, it's time travel, which I'm so excited. I'm a big Whovian, so I'm so excited to interview her next week. So I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, so definitely don't miss out on that one because that'll be a really good one. Yeah, really good. Yeah, okay, well, I think that's kind of us coming to the end of our time. Yeah, but it's gone it's gone so quickly. I've still got quite a few questions I could ask you, but I think we're out of time there now. So yeah. I know, but thank you very much. It's been really lovely to chat to you. Really lovely.
Yeah, it's been lovely. Thank you so much, Chrissie.
Oh, no, not at all. Thank you. And is there anything else we're supposed to say before we go?
quickly checking the
I think
notes.
I forgot to say at the beginning that I wouldn't be able to answer questions. So sorry, everyone.
I know.
Forgot to say about that. And but I don't think we've done any spoilers, have we? So I think we're all
no, there's no spoilers. And if you have any questions, you just come at me at Melliver. Ask me anytime. I'm always procrastinating instead of writing, so you can just ask me.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, so that's quite nice actually. So if anyone has any questions, they can just get in touch with you directly. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, lovely. Thank you so much. I think we're going to be talking again in a minute, aren't we?
Yes, so we can pop some more. So there'll be more on the podcast and the YouTube and stuff, guys. So you'll be able to see that later.
You'll be able to catch up on a little extra from us
after
when it's published. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, it's lovely to chat to you then, and thanks everyone for joining us.
Yes, thanks everyone. Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh.
Do it.
So I feel a bit giggly now. So that went really well. Well done us. Yeah, you sounded great.
Yes, it was so good. It went so fast, like really fast.
It flew by, didn't it? I know. I kept looking at the clock because I had so many questions to ask you. I didn't ask you half of them. But yeah. So should we move on to our questions?
Yes, quick fire. Let's go.
Let's do it. All right. So
okay.
Oh, sorry, I've got the giggles. Right, okay, ready? As a writer, what would you choose as your mascot or avatar or spirit animal?
Okay, so has to be, with a dystopian writer, it has to be Katniss Everdeen, because she definitely reawoke dystopian writing. Like before that, the nearest you can think of is like 1984 or Brave New World, and they were completely different things. But for YA dystopian, has to be Katniss Everdeen. Love her or hate her, she is the mascot for dystopian.
I think that's such a great answer. I was just looking for your book again, which now I don't know where it's gone now. Oh yeah, because on the front someone says, don't they? Who is that? It's Michael Grant. Says in the spirit of the Hunger Games.
He does. He does. Smart man.
I've lost the question. Right. Okay, we're back to it now. Okay, great answer. So, top writing tip.
Okay. So, top writing tip for me would be read around your subject, because I think a lot of people, I do mentoring with Bright Mentor, and a lot of people say, oh, I've not been reading X or Y. I say, oh, have you read this book? It's just like yours. And they'll say, no, because I don't want to copy what they're doing. And that's, you've got to read around your subject, because you've got to know, first of all, what's out there. And second of all, I totally understand this thing of when I'm drafting, it is harder to read around my subject, but you have to read around your subject so that you know what tropes people are expecting, especially in YA. You've got to understand what else is out there and how you can fit into that market. So I think the number one tip would be read around your subject, and don't be afraid of reading within your subject, because you have your own unique voice and you don't need to worry about that.
I completely agree. And I find it easier if I'm reading when I'm writing. It actually really helps me, because I find it really reassuring, makes it kind of more manageable in a way. I don't know why, but anyway, completely agree. Okay, so if you could eat one meal and eat one drink for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Okay, so I have to go for something spicy. So I'm going to cheat and say curry, because then I can have all the different types of curry, because I love spicy food so much. So yeah, I'm totally cheating, because I'm a big fan of cheating. Like, if you're going to cheat, we're doing NaNoWriMo at the minute, and some people have started already, and I'm like, do it. Just, you know what, you live the best life, just cheat. I love it. I love it when people cheat on questions. So yeah, I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to say curry. And in terms of drinking, apart from loving a glass of wine, I am not one of those writers that drinks tea or coffee. I don't even do hot drinks. I'm very weird. But I always drink water. I always have one of these chili bottles full of water. I'm really up for water. So yeah, water probably would be the one. That's the one I'm going to say. Water, which is very boring.
No, it's not. I had the same answer, and actually I said curry as well, and I was also cheating. So because I was a bit like curry, because you can have anything really with a curry. There's so many, and they're all amazing. And water, because I mean, I don't know, I don't drink anything other than water, so that's alcoholic. So yeah, great answer, loving that, because we're the same. So Marvel or DC? Okay,
so I assume this is talking about superheroes, and when it comes to superheroes, Marvel every day of the week. I always think DC is anything with something man, So you're talking like not Spider-Man, actually, though. That's not one. But Superman, Catwoman, all the things where it's like, so it's easy to remember. But my perspective is, I love the Marvel films. I love the Marvel superheroes. They're my favorite. They have the best backstories. But in terms of comic books, my dad's American, and I always read when I was younger the DC comics. But the ones I read were like Archie, Betty, and Veronica. I read Chilling Adventures of Sabrina before they were a big Netflix series. So I would choose DC because those are the ones I would read, even though they're not superhero ones.
Oh, very interesting. That's quite a profound answer. A bit deep. Bit deeper.
I like it. Yeah.
We're going deep into
so profound. Archie, Veronica, and Betty. Yes.
Okay, so Bugs Bunny or Mickey Mouse?
Bugs Bunny or Mickey Mouse. Okay, gotta go Bugs Bunny every time. Again, my dad's American. We used to go to the Warner Brothers a lot, and I love, especially, which is, I suppose it's a bit cheating again because I'm a cheater. I love it so much. Obviously, I love Elmer Fudd. I love a grumpy character, so I have to go Bugs Bunny. Even though I love Disney, I'm not a Mickey Mouse fan. I'm just not. I think Mickey Mouse is really annoying. Minnie's better than Mickey, and definitely Daisy Duck. So if I have to pick, it's definitely going to be Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
as well, because I find Mickey a bit annoying.
Yeah, he is a bit annoying.
Yeah, Bugs is a bit naughtier, a bit more real. Yeah,
more fun.
Yeah. So, what 3 books would you take with you to a desert island or give to an alien?
Oh gosh, right. Well, we've obviously got to go give to an alien. So we've got Chrissie here. So the alien in the jam factory, obviously I would give to an alien, and they would probably read it and be like, what's all this about? What's jam? I'm like, well, you're gonna learn.
I'd be like, what the heck have you just given us?
what is this terrible representation of our alien race? This is no, they wouldn't. They'd be like, this is amazing, because obviously Chrissie knows an alien, guys, so it's fine.
Clearly it's factual.
Biography about aliens. So definitely that one. And then if I go down the alien streak, I would go with Matt Haig's The Humans, which is about a person who thinks, or rather, depends what you think about the book, but they believe or they are an alien. So they're experiencing human life from an alien perspective, because I think that would be really interesting. And then I would want to give them something that represents the human race. And I can't decide between, I'm going to go with, I answered in another podcast, I answered what I would take to Desert Island, and it was the Argos catalogue. And I stand by it. And I think that would teach aliens about human life, especially the Christmas bumper issue. So
that is possibly the best answer ever to this question. That's amazing. I love that answer.
That's what I would give them. They would understand life so well reading through the Argos catalogue.
And I don't know about you, but I can spend a long time looking through the Argos catalogue. I mean, that's really fun to look through.
Yeah, it is the most fun.
I can't afford.
It's not a proper book, but again, as you know, I'm just cheating, so it's fine. So Argos catalogue, definitely.
Okay, brilliant. All right, well, thank you very much. I think that's all our questions. It was really nice to talk to you.
Yeah, so nice to chat. And bye, guys. I hope you learned something about mine and Chrissie's cheating on every question, and curry and aliens.
Yeah. Thank you, lovely. Thank you, chat.
Bye.
Thanks, Melissa. Thanks, Chrissie. I hope you really enjoyed that interview. Next week, Melissa is going to be interviewing Kate Gilby-Smith, whose debut novel, The Astonishing Future of Alex Nobody, is out now. And I'm sure we'll be talking about time travel and lots of fun stuff about that. So I will see you next week. Bye.